In order to make a cargo pocket, we need to cut three pieces of fabric. The main pocket piece, which is 12 inches by 9 inches, the pocket cover, which is 8 inches by 4 inches, and the pocket border, which is 3 inches by the measurement round the three sides of the main pocket piece, after sewing the main pocket piece together. Now, the first thing we need to do is to take the main pocket piece and fold it together in right side facing each other. You fold it together right side facing each other, and then put a notch at the two end of the middle. Put notches at the two end of the center of the main pocket piece. Then you measure 2 inches inward from the center, like so. Then from the measurement, you come down 2 inches and rule the line on one side, then come up 1 inches on the other hand, like so. Then we put a stitch. I'll go to my sewing machine and sew down the measurements, like so. This is what I have after stitching down the 2 inches and the 1 inch. Then the next thing is to open it up in this manner, and holding on to the notch we made earlier on, we will place it on top of the stitch that we made, making sure that it is centered on the stitch, and then we will iron it down. We press it down with our hot iron, like so, to form a kissing pleating. We need to make a kissing pleating at that center. Note that the measurement for main pocket piece depends on you, what you want, the size of the pocket that you want. So it varies, and even the the kissing pleating size depends on you. This is what I have after ironing down the kissing pleating. This is the result. Now the main thing is to take that portion where we have a 2 inches measurement and fold it inward by 0.5 inches. Then the second time you fold it by 1 inch, like so. Fold it twice, and then you pin it down, like so. Fold it the first time by 0.5 inches, then fold it over again by 1 inch, and pin it down in this manner. Then we'll go to the sewing machine and stitch it. This is what I have. Then the next thing is to stitch it down. Now this is the result after stitching down the hem of the pocket. The next thing is to go to take a hot iron and fold in 0.5 inches round the other three edges of the pocket, and iron them down, like so, like I have done. 0.5 inches round the three edges of the main pocket. Then we take our pocket strip. Then after ironing down 0.5 inches by the side of the pocket strip, remember I said the pocket border is 3 inches by the measurement around the main pocket. Then you iron down 0.5 inches on the two edges of the pocket strip, and then we need to stitch it down. We need to stitch it to the main pocket by placing the main pocket on the folded edge in this manner. Note the manner in which I am placing the main pocket on the border. After folding the two sides of the border inward by 0.5 inches, then we begin to stitch it down. You can place your pocket border below the edge that we sewn earlier, below the hem of the pocket that we folded by 1 inch, or you start from beginning. Now when you are stitching down the pocket onto the pocket border, after stitching one side, then you turn the pocket. Make sure you are moving the pocket and you are not moving the border. Note the manner in which you move the pocket to make your work easier. You fold the pocket, move it, pull it in this manner onto the side of the pocket border. You can use your scissors to straighten the fabric of the main pocket, and then you stitch it like so. Note that I did not stick to the very end of the pocket mouth, like I said earlier on, because we are going to stitch that place down in order for it not to be bulky. Now this is the result of all the stitch of the sewing. This is the pocket border, how it's going to appear after stitching it down. Now the next thing is to take your trousers, one leg of your trouser that you have already joined together. You must have joined the one part of the front and then one part of the back of the pocket of the of your trouser. Then you measure where you want your cargo pocket to be from top. For me, I measure 13 inches from the waist of the pocket. Then I mark it and then I place my cargo pockets on it. After placing the cargo pocket on it, you mark the four corners of the pocket. Note that I place the cargo pocket on the front side facing the fabric, front side facing each other. Then you mark the four corners like so. I don't know if you can see my marking. You mark it like so. After marking it, you now place the wrong side of the pocket on it and pin down your pocket border inside, just inside those marks that you made. Make sure the pocket border is inside the mark that you made and pin them round all round the four corners of the pocket border. We are going to stitch the pocket border onto the trouser, onto the side of the trouser like so. Like I said earlier on, the size of the pocket depends on what you desire, and the amount of the pocket for your cargo pants depends on what you want, how many pockets you want on your cargo pants. Pin everything down onto the leg of one leg of your trouser in this manner. After which we will now go to the sewing machine and stitch down the pocket border in this manner. You start from the top of the pocket and stitch it down, then round the bottom of it to the other side of the pocket as and stitch it up again. Being careful, make sure you stitch to the very end of the fabric before turning your fabric. Stitch to the very end, almost to the end of the fabric in order for you to have a smooth side. You remove your office pin as you sew along. Then when you are turning your fabric, make sure your needle is inside the fabric. You only lift your presser foot, then you sew your pocket like so. Now this is what we have after stitching down the pocket to the leg of the trouser. This is the result. Now the next thing is to stitch down the side of the top of the pocket, the place where we hem inward by 1 inches earlier on. That's why for most people they don't put the pocket border up to the top, that edge. because it will be too bulky, but it depend on you. Now you only stitch about 1 inch. You put a 1 inch stitch on that pocket mouth on one side and also on the second side of the pocket. A stitch that is about 1 inch length. You back stitch and make sure that it's very tight. Now this is the pocket after stitching it down. This is what we have. Now the next thing is to work on our pocket cover, which is 4 inches by 8 inches. You will note that after working on the pocket, the length of the pocket, the width of the pocket is now 8 inches. After making the piecing pleating, that's why our pocket cover is 8 inches by 4 inches. Then you stitch it round the edges, leaving only one edge of the width open, and you also turn it inside out and also top stitch. You top stitch it like so. Now after top stitching it, the next thing is to fix it onto the top of our pocket. You stitch it down onto the top of the pocket, 0.5 inches above the pocket. You measure 0.5 inches above the pocket, rule your line and stitch down the rough edge of the pocket cover, the open side of the pocket cover, onto the space, the 0.5 inches distance from the pocket, like so. And then this is what we have. After which we now stop top stitch at that place where you join the pocket cover to the trouser. You top stitch it to give it a neat finishing. Now after top stitching it, this is the pocket cover, how it's looking like. This is the result. Our pocket is finished. You can see it's beautiful.